You know, there are an awful lot of different styles and designs and sizes of ice shelters on the market today. And most of them are made to try to be lightweight and easy to operate. One of the easiest ones I've found is the InstaShak. It comes in a few different sizes, a 2-man, 4-man, and a 6-man. Of course, each one getting a little bit progressively larger, but they're so easy to set up. They come inside a simple carry case, and the whole unit is self-contained. There are no separate pipes or pieces of any kind. The whole thing stays together, so you don't have to worry about losing anything while you're out there on the ice. Easy to set up. As soon as you remove it from the case, there's a central hub at the top portion of the shelter, and that hub is colored. You'll see it, it's bright yellow. You grab that top, pop it into place, and all 4 parts of the roof automatically lock in. Then we do each one of the 4 walls. They have the exact same mechanism as the top section. Just grab the central hub, pull it out, and the frame automatically locks into place. It's just that simple. Sets up in a matter of minutes. Of course, because it is lightweight, it is a tent, you want to make sure that you somehow secure the tent down to the ice. You do that using the shelter anchors that Scott has, and there's a little grommet on each of the 4 corners of the shelter. Just insert the shelter anchor through that and turn it down into the ice to secure it. And it's always a good idea to put them in at a little bit of an angle. Gives you just a little bit more surface area. And again, we do that at all 4 corners. Then we also have some ropes that we could put out. And this is the 2-man version. We also have a 4-man and a 6-man. And at each wall, you'll see there's an eyelet sticking out with a nylon loop on it. And again, this is just something to help secure the shelter, so if you're out in any kind of a wind or you're getting some wind gusts, it helps to keep the shelter in place, and you don't have to worry about anything coming loose. Just tie it off on the nylon straps, and then you can use the adjustable loop, put that around the shelter anchor, and just like you did with the shelter anchors at the corners, you can tap the threads for shelter anchor in on each of the ropes. Another good idea is to kind of use a little bit of slush or snow and pack down the sides of the shelter. That'll help prevent any blowing snow from coming up underneath the shelter, any extra air movement. Once you got that done, you're all set to go. You'll be warm, comfortable, and dry the entire time that you're fishing. The InstaShak is almost as easy to break down as it is to set up. The whole unit is self-contained, so it's a pretty easy process. We start out, of course, by removing the shelter anchors. Because it is such a lightweight shelter, you want to make sure you use those shelter anchors if the conditions are windy, and if you expect wind to be coming up while you're fishing. After you remove the shelter anchors, you just collapse the sides of the shelter. So remember how we popped those out during the assembly process. Now as we disassemble, we're just going to simply push those hubs in on each of the 4 sides of the shelter. As soon as we do that, then we're going to gather the pipes at the corners of the top of the shelter and fold them in toward the center, one at a time. As soon as you finish that process, repeat the same thing on the bottom. Again, we're going to lift up each one of the corners, fold the bars to center, and we kind of wrap the material all up, pull it tight, and put it back in its storage case. So it's really about the simplest ice shelter to use that's out there right now.